Okay, year 7. So well done. This should be what your completed table looks like. Just to remember, a reminder what I said in the video, your header of your table always has the name of the variable. So in this case, the dependent variable was the temperature because the temperature depended on the time that passed. So that's your independent variable. And I always put my units so that I know that that means minutes rather than hours or seconds. And degrees Celsius is shown like that. So now that those units are written at the top, I don't need to copy them further down. Now, your next step is to draw your conclusion. Pause the video if you haven't done so yet and write a summary of what these results show you. When you're ready, start the video again and we'll check that we have similar results. Okay, so my conclusion, the way that I summarized it, yours would probably be quite similar, is over 10 minutes, so that's talking about the time, the temperature of the water steadily decreased. So the steadily decreased is showing the pattern that I saw from the results. And that links in nicely with the aim. The aim was to investigate how the temperature changes as the water is allowed to cool. So always make sure that your conclusion, which is a summary of the experiment, links up with your aim. Excellent work. Okay, year 7s. Now what I would like you to do at the back of your books, I want you to start adding to your revision cards that you can use to test yourself to make sure that you've got all the key ideas in your head. So your page is folded in half. Continue from last time if we've done this before. And on the left-hand side, you write the question. Discuss the steps in a typical experiment like you did today. And then your answer, I've put over here. Step 1 is aim. You then talk about the safety. You list the apparatus. You give a detailed method. Remember, the more detail, the more chance that I will be able to do it in exactly the way that you mean. Give the results and then a conclusion. So pause the video so that you can copy this into the back of your books. Okay, year 7s, good job. Now I'm just going to show you what your homework is going to be, because you are very shortly going to have a baseline assessment so that we get an opportunity to see where everybody is in their learning with this topic. So on Show My Homework, you will receive this sheet. KO means Knowledge Organizer, and it's a knowledge organizer for the Introduction to Science topic. Now what you will notice on the sheet, we have put everything that you will be or you have learned in this topic. So over here we've got the 10 lab rules. Number 2 is some has symbols, and they at the bottom over there, 1 or 2 extras in case they come up. 3 is all about measuring. Now we're going to come back to this at the moment, because any measurement will have a unit and a symbol. And I want you to, in a moment, spend the rest of the lesson writing this in your book and starting to learn these. But also, just to show you, number 4, I've put some apparatus that you need to know off by heart. And this goes right to the beginning of the page, which I can't seem to do right now. And there we go. So there's the key apparatus you need to know. And there is also how to light a Bunsen burner safely. Now, the way we use our knowledge organizers is like this. So over here, this is about lighting a Bunsen burner safely. So you'll have a revision card, or you will use this to test yourself. How do you light a Bunsen burner safely? You then cover this part of the revision card and you see if you can remember the steps. Now, this is the one time that you can sound a little bit crazy and speak to your teddy bear if you are at home revising. Because what I suggest you try and say it out loud, because often when we say something out loud, we can hear if it sounds like we're talking in a scientific way, we're making sense, or are we just saying thingamajig, whatchamacallit, I don't know. So when I cover it up, let's see how much I can remember. Okay, so I'm going to turn the collar so that the hole is closed. I'm going to attach the pipe. Oh, and then I forget. So that's the point that you go back, you look through it. Oh, I then light the match, then turn on the gas tap, and then adjust the flame. Okay, let me cover it up. Let's see if I can remember it. Now, what you're noticing is I'm looking, I'm covering, I'm checking if I know it, and then I'm looking at my answer to see if it's right. And that's how we revise. The more we practice, the better we get. So I'm going to put this knowledge organizer on Show My Homework for you to do exactly that. Look, cover, see how much you can remember, and then check. Learn from your mistakes, try again. And the more you practice, the better you will get. So for the rest of this lesson, whatever time is left, I want you to copy out this little bit here on measuring. So if we have a look at it very carefully, you need the measurement, the unit, and the symbol. Here I've made it larger for you, and a lot of them will be measurements that you come across on an everyday basis. So volume is the amount of a liquid. We don't use the word amount, we be scientific and we say volume. And that's measured in centimeters cubed, or another name for centimeters cubed that we come across in everyday life is milliliter. So notice how that 3 means cubed and it's a small number written at the top. Mass is in kilogram, and the unit is either kg if it's kilogram or g for gram. Sorry, that should be a kg. Weight takes into consideration gravity as well as your mass. So that's measured in newtons, and because it's newtons, we use a capital N because it's based on the name of Isaac Newton. Length is meters, so we use an M. And noise is measured in decibels with a D and a capital B. Speed is usually measured in meters per second, and then we go M. The forward slash means per, or divide by the seconds. We've learned about degrees Celsius today. We're going to learn about pressure. There's also force, which is also measured in newtons. So that gives you a clue that weight is a force. And there's also current and voltage. So leave this on the screen until the end of the lesson, giving you a chance to copy this and get it in your head. And for homework, go on to Show My Homework and follow the instructions with the knowledge organizer. Excellent job. Make sure you push in your chairs at the end of the lesson. Well done.